Hello, I'm Robin. I'm a certified financial planner, certified private wealth advisor, wealth manager by trade, and your rich auntie. A few days ago, I posted a video on how to become wealthy from a wealth manager's perspective. I've had the great privilege and honor of working with many of America's wealthiest families, high net worth, ultra high net worth individuals. And I've learned a thing or two as a wealth manager in terms of how these people obtain their money. You can watch the first video. I give 5 pieces of advice for people who want to be high net worth, ultra high net worth. I wanted to continue that video today by giving some additional advice to people who are looking to become high net worth or ultra high net worth. The first piece of advice I would say is be 100% honest with yourself. Are you an entrepreneur? I feel as though entrepreneurship in American society has been completely overhyped to the point where people who are clearly not entrepreneurs are pushed into pursuing entrepreneurship or pathways of entrepreneurship. Some people are just better working a 9 to 5. Some people just don't have the personality of an entrepreneur. Some people have a life position where they simply can't take on the level of risk and stress it often takes to be a successful entrepreneur and to live that life. A great example, I had a client or a husband of a client who was forming his own business. Now, usually forming your own business is a very good thing. I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but the family had needs. There were several children. The wife didn't work. There were debts. There were health issues. There were several things outstanding. And I thought it was an unusual choice for the husband to leave a well paying, steady 9 to 5 job with benefits to pursue the route of entrepreneurship. He probably would have been better off pursuing this route of entrepreneurship 20 years ago before he got married and had many obligations, but he was doing it now. And unfortunately, it was a disaster for the family. Things got tight. He ran out of money. The company ran into problems. Things were very stressful. He didn't get the financial backing he thought he was going to get. And it turned out being an unmitigated disaster. And I think part of it was that he wasn't really honest with himself that it wasn't the right time for him to be an entrepreneur. Another thing, I've met people, clients who have great personalities, who are wonderful, who work wonderful jobs, but they need someone to direct them. They're not extremely self-directed people. I had a situation where one of the clients who were not terribly self-directed became an entrepreneur, and it was just an unmitigated disaster. He couldn't keep up with the work. He didn't know what he needed to do to grow the business. He grew into conflict with his partner. He simply would have been better working a 9 to 5 job and building his wealth that way. So entrepreneurship is great. And if you really have it in yourself to be an entrepreneur, definitely go in that direction. But be 100% honest with yourself. Do you have what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur? How do you find this out? Talk to successful entrepreneurs. They will give you 100% the straight dope on what their lives are like, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Sometimes after sending clients to interview with successful entrepreneurs in their field, they come back and they say, yeah, I want the success, but I would never want that life. That person paid a heavy price to be a successful entrepreneur, and they're often right. They want the outcome, they want the wealth, but they often don't want the process. So one of the most honest pieces of advice I would give to you if you're considering entrepreneurship, do some research, talk to a successful entrepreneur in your field, tell them to give you all the information about what they went through, and then make a decision whether you can be a successful entrepreneur based on that. The next thing I would tell someone who wants to become high net worth, ultra high net worth, is can you fall down and can you get back up? Oftentimes, if someone is a successful entrepreneur, has a successful business, it's not their first business that succeeds. It's not their second business that succeeds. It's the third business that ends up being a home run. Sometimes successful entrepreneurs have multiple bankruptcies on their personal records, have lost multiple homes, maybe have lost family relationships in the process of building a successful business, but it's rarely the first or even the second business that is a success. It often takes multiple tries, and those failures are often devastating. You have to learn to fall down and to get back up. So the next question I would ask, if you're going to go the route of entrepreneurship for high net worth, ultra high net worth in your life, is can you fall down and can you get back up? And are you being 110% honest about that? Will it devastate you or your family to go through a bankruptcy? Are you going to have a serious problem in losing your home and your car? These are all things that have happened at various times in successful entrepreneurs' lives. But they can fall down and they can get back up. The next thing I would tell someone who's interested in becoming rich is you have to be able to take calculated risk and you have to be able to evaluate the risks that you're taking. One of the most devastating things I see people who are not quite ready to be high net worth, ultra high net worth do is they can't accurately assess risk, or they take risk that is disproportional to their personal values, or they'll invest in things they don't fully understand or fully believe in just for fear of missing out or fear of not being part of the next best thing. I always tell people never invest in something you don't fully understand, whether that advice is coming from an investment advisor or whether that advice is coming from a friend, a family member, or a business partner. You need to understand on a very fundamental level what your money is going to do and how that plays into the bigger picture of what the investment is about. And so it is very important. High net worth, ultra high net worth individuals need to understand how to take calculated risks, or they need to surround themselves with a team of people who can take calculated risks. As an investment advisor, I evaluate different projects, different investment opportunities for clients all the time. Sometimes a project is a really good project. However, I know the person is an ultra conservative risk profile and the risk of this project is through the stratosphere, so it may not be suited to this client. Or I can break down a project and explain it to the client. I could tell that there are going to be future capital needs and there are going to be future capital calls and requests for investments as part of this project. I can tell what the tax implications will be of this project. You have to be able to understand how your money is going to work with you, and you're going to have to be able to understand and assess your risk tolerance and how that plays into the investment, the length of investment, the type of investment, and the return expected on that investment. The next thing I will say, and this is something that is explanatory, number 8, learn how to protect yourself and your stuff. A lot of people don't want to think about insurance. It's something boring and it's an afterthought. We insure our car, we insure our home, we insure our health. As you build wealth, insurance will become one of the most important things you can do to protect yourself, protect your properties, and protect your wealth. When you are wealthy or when you are building wealth, you are a target, right? We live in a very litigious society, some states more than others. But think about this. You're driving in your car, you're changing a radio station, you look down for a split second and you rear end someone. Here in California, where I live, that person can look you up and see that you own a home. That automatically means that you are a millionaire in this part of California. They're going to sue and they're going to sue big. If you don't have adequate liability coverage and you don't have an umbrella policy to take over, you can end up paying hundreds of thousands or not millions of dollars to someone for a very simple and very basic lawsuit. Always protect yourself, always protect your stuff, and always know that as a wealthy person, when you cross that threshold, and it's usually high 6 figures, low 7 figures, once you cross that $1 million threshold, you are a target, and you are a target for lawsuits, and you are a target for liability. The next thing that I would say is learn to hire and take the advice of professionals. One thing I think that people who are on the pathway of becoming wealthy or high net worth or ultra high net worth do is they wait way too long to bring in an accountant, a wealth manager, an estate planner, or a business law specialist. It shouldn't be an afterthought. You shouldn't have a net worth of 10 million and above before you start getting this team together. As you get into the 6 figures and to the threshold of 7 figures, you should know an accountant, you should know a wealth manager, you should hire an estate attorney and a business law specialist. Yes, these are very expensive specialties. I pay my accountant through the nose. I pay my estate attorney well, but these are very important people in my big financial plan. I am counting on these people to give me expert advice and also to execute on that expert advice and to do it well and at a professional standard and professional level. if I execute it properly and have the right team, these people can save me tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in future hassles, taxes, potential future lawsuits, and potential problems or events that can come up in the future. Don't wait until you have a $10 million network to get your team net worth to get your team together. Really start working to get your team together earlier in the game. So there you have it, 5 more ways that you can develop yourself as a high net worth, ultra high net worth individual. It's something, believe it or not, that many Americans can do, but many Americans don't do because it takes time and it takes so much discipline. Once again, everybody wants the product, everyone wants to be wealthy, no one wants the process, which is time and often sacrifice. If you like this video, please like, please share, and please subscribe. Also, please tell me where I'm right and please tell me where I'm wrong.